Chapter 1. An Unexpected Bond. The dim glow of the moonlight barely illuminated the rugged terrain as Lieutenant Sarah Khaled adjusted her tactical vest. She stood alongside her team, her mind racing with a mix of adrenaline and focus. Their mission was clear: infiltrate an abandoned factory rumored to be a hideout for a dangerous criminal network. It wasn't her first high-risk operation, but this time something was different. Her longtime friend and fellow officer, Captain Adam Shaw, was leading the team. Sarah and Adam had been friends since their academy days, partners in training and confidants during tough times. Their bond had always been strong, built on trust and mutual respect. But in recent months, Sarah had begun to notice a change in how she felt around Adam. His confident smile, the way he always had her back in the field, and his unwavering support had stirred something deeper in her heart. She couldn't ignore it anymore. She was falling for him. But there was no time to dwell on feelings tonight. The mission demanded her full attention. "All right, team," Adam said, his voice steady as he addressed the group. "This operation is critical. We stick to the plan, watch each other's backs, and stay sharp. Let's move." Sarah nodded, her gaze meeting Adam's briefly. His calm determination gave her a sense of reassurance, even in the face of danger. The team moved silently through the shadows, their footsteps muffled by the dirt and debris. As they approached the factory, the eerie silence was broken only by the distant sound of crickets. The building loomed ahead, its broken windows and crumbling walls a testament to years of neglect. "Stay close," Adam whispered, signaling for the team to spread out and secure the perimeter. Sarah followed his lead, her senses heightened as they advanced toward the entrance. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the faint smell of oil. The team moved cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Suddenly, a noise echoed through the halls, a metallic clang that sent everyone on high alert. "Hold position," Adam ordered, raising his hand. The team froze, their weapons ready. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she scanned the shadows for any sign of movement. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw it, a figure darting across the room. "Contact! Left side!" she called out, raising her weapon. Before anyone could react, gunfire erupted, shattering the silence. The team scattered, taking cover behind pillars and crates. Sarah's training kicked in as she returned fire, her movements swift and precise. She could hear Adam shouting orders, his voice cutting through the chaos. Amid the firefight, Sarah found herself pinned behind a large crate, bullets ricocheting around her. She glanced over to see Adam moving toward her position, his determination evident despite the danger. "Sarah, are you okay?" he asked, crouching beside her. "I'm fine," she replied, her voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through her veins. "We need to push forward. They're trying to box us in." Adam nodded. "We'll flank them. Stay close to me." Together, they moved through the chaos, working seamlessly as a team. Their years of training and partnership had built an unspoken understanding, allowing them to anticipate each other's moves. Sarah couldn't help but feel a surge of pride as she watched Adam take control of the situation, his leadership inspiring the team to fight back with precision and courage. The battle raged on for what felt like hours, but finally, the gunfire subsided. The team regrouped, their breaths heavy, but their spirits unbroken. They had managed to secure the factory, capturing several members of the criminal network and recovering valuable intel. As the dust settled, Adam approached Sarah, his face a mix of relief and concern. "You did great out there," he said, his voice low. Sarah managed a small smile, her exhaustion evident. "We all did. It was a team effort." Adam hesitated for a moment before placing a hand on her shoulder. "I'm glad you're okay, Sarah. I don't know what I'd do if something happened to you." Her heart skipped a beat at his words, but she quickly pushed the thought aside. This wasn't the time or place for personal feelings. "Thanks, Adam. I feel the same about you," she said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. The team began packing up, preparing to leave the scene. But as Sarah followed Adam out of the factory, she couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed between them. The intensity of the mission had brought them even closer, and for the first time she allowed herself to wonder what it might mean. Little did she know, this was only the beginning. Chapter 2. Love in the Line of Fire. The days following the factory raid were a blur of debriefings, paperwork, and planning for the next steps. The operation had been a success, and their team was being praised for their bravery and precision. But for Sarah, the adrenaline from the mission had given way to an entirely different kind of tension. Every time she thought of Adam's words, "I don't know what I'd do if something happened to you," her heart raced. She tried to focus on her work, but her mind kept drifting back to that moment. Was there something more behind his concern, or was she just imagining things? Adam, too, seemed different. He was still the confident, composed leader she admired, but there was a softness in his demeanor whenever they spoke. Their conversations, once strictly professional, now carried an undercurrent of something unspoken. One afternoon, as Sarah sat in the briefing room going over the intel they had recovered, Adam walked in. "Got a minute?" he asked, his tone casual but his eyes serious. Sarah nodded, setting her pen down. "Of course. What's up?" He closed the door behind him and took a seat across from her. For a moment, he didn't say anything, as if he were trying to find the right words. "I've been thinking about the mission," he began, his voice low, "about what we went through, and about us." Sarah's breath caught in her throat. "Us?" she echoed, her pulse quickening. Adam leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "I've always respected you, Sarah. You're one of the best officers I've ever worked with. But during that mission, when I saw you in danger—" He paused, his jaw tightening. "It hit me how much you mean to me. Not just as a teammate, but as someone I care about deeply." Sarah stared at him, her mind racing. She had dreamed of hearing these words, but now that they were real, she didn't know what to say. "Adam," she began, her voice trembling, "I've been feeling the same way. I just didn't know if it was right to say anything. I didn't want to complicate things." He smiled, a mix of relief and vulnerability in his expression. "I get it. Our job doesn't exactly make relationships easy, but life is too short to keep holding back. We both know that better than anyone." Before Sarah could respond, the door burst open, and their teammate, Lieutenant Malik, entered. "Sorry to interrupt, but we've got a situation. Intel just came in. Our target is on the move, and we've got a small window to intercept." The moment of intimacy was replaced by the urgency of the mission. Adam and Sarah exchanged a look, their unspoken connection stronger than ever. "Let's gear up," Adam said, standing and taking charge. The team quickly mobilized, gathering their equipment and reviewing the plan. Their target was a high-profile criminal who had evaded capture for years. The intel suggested he was meeting with associates at a remote warehouse, and the team's mission was to apprehend him before he could disappear again. As they approached the warehouse under the cover of night, the tension was palpable. Adam and Sarah moved in tandem, their connection unspoken but undeniable. The operation started smoothly, with the team securing the perimeter and moving into position. But as they entered the warehouse, chaos erupted, gunfire rang out, and the team was forced into a heated firefight. Amid the chaos, Sarah found herself cornered behind a stack of crates, her ammunition running low. She could hear Adam shouting orders, his voice cutting through the noise. "Sarah, hold on, I'm coming to you," he called out, his tone laced with urgency. Moments later, Adam appeared at her side, his weapon ready. "You okay?" he asked, his eyes scanning her for injuries. "I'm fine," she replied, her heart racing, "but we need to move. They're regrouping." Together, they fought their way through the warehouse, their teamwork seamless. But just as they reached the target, a stray bullet grazed Sarah's arm, sending a sharp pain shooting through her. Adam immediately stepped in front of her, shielding her with his body. "Sarah, fall back," he ordered, his voice firm. "No way," she said through gritted teeth. "We're doing this together." With a final push, they subdued the target and secured the scene. As the team moved in to take control, Adam turned to Sarah, his concern evident. "Let me see your arm," he said, his voice soft. "It's just a scratch," she insisted, but he wasn't convinced. He gently examined the wound, his touch careful. "You're lucky it's not worse," he said, his tone a mix of relief and frustration. "You scared me out there." Sarah smiled faintly, despite the pain. "I had you watching my back. I knew I'd be okay." Later, as the team debriefed back at headquarters, Adam pulled Sarah aside. "We need to talk," he said, his expression serious but warm. She nodded, her heart pounding. "I meant what I said earlier," he told her. "Life is too short to hold back. I care about you, Sarah, more than I can put into words. And I don't want to lose you, not on the field, and not in life." Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as she looked at him. "I feel the same way, Adam. I always have." He smiled, taking her hand. "Then let's not waste any more time." Their journey was far from over, and the challenges of their work would always be there. But for the first time, they faced the future not just as partners in the field, but as partners in life.